Hey there guys, and welcome back to UnJaded Jade. So I'm currently just on my way to the train station and I'm heading to London today for a very exciting little thing with the Teenage Cancer Trust. Okay, so I've just arrived at the venue and look how fancy our little setup is. Hey. So here's the team, hey, from Teenage Cancer Trust, and here is Becky. Hey. So me and Becky are just getting ready, we're getting sorted to film. We've got like fancy cue cards that kind of makes me feel like we're going to be on a game show. How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you ready? Both. That's good vibe. Right, we're ready to go. Okay guys, so here we are, I'm with Becky.
Hello.
Hello, and as you guys know, this is the season of Results Day, which is an evil, scary time and kind of sparked us being here today. Becky, can you just tell me a bit about your story with exams and Results Day and how it was all a bit different?
So mine was very much different to every normal person because during the exam period I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a blood cancer.
Were you able to do all your A-levels or did you have to select?
So the A-levels I'd originally chosen were maths, chemistry and biology.
That's the same as me, and I know that that is hard as it is.
Yeah. My mum, being a maths teacher for GCSE and A-levels, taught me my A-level maths bedside. So when I finished the 2 years of sixth form, I at least left with one A-level.
So when you first were diagnosed, did you instantly think about school and exams and like how it would affect everything, or was that something later?
At first, I didn't. So I just pushed school to the side. But then when I started treatment, I had to think about long term, like what was I going to do next? So I was like, right, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to try and continue my education so that when I'm at the stage where I am now, everything else just is back to normal. It's like, just like never happened effectively. Yeah. So I did most of my foundation year in hospital, and
you're amazing. That's wow.
Like the week after I was released from hospital, I spent a week at home, and I was like to my parents, like, see ya, I'm going back to uni.
So was this unit a Teenage Cancer Trust unit?
Yes, it was. So it's the YP unit up in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham.
Shout out.
And if I'd gone to my local hospital, they told me I'd be in a room with people that weren't my age. So being up on the YP unit for Teenage Cancer Trust, literally surrounded by people your own age going through the exact same thing. On the ward there was like a study room, so if I needed a laptop or something or anything, like they'd come bring it in for me. Did
it require a lot of motivation though?
It did. It was very easy to just lie there and just be like, no, I'm ill, this is my excuse.
Because I find it hard sometimes to motivate myself and to have discipline, even when I'm surrounded by other students and don't have all these other external things going on. So yeah, respect to you. So obviously this is kind of Results Day season, and a lot of you guys might have picked up your results and maybe it might not have gone exactly as you wanted it to. Do you have any advice for anyone who didn't get the results they wanted?
Don't be devastated and think it's the end of the world if you don't get the choice you wanted.
I think it's just about kind of embracing whatever the reality of the situation is. Because I think with me, I always had like a very set university I wanted to go to. And when I found out I couldn't go there, for me it was just about kind of embracing, okay, what's next? So how did you feel on Results Day?
I remember sitting in the car with my mum thinking, oh my God, I'm dreading this, because by this point I'd been diagnosed. And you could see for my AS Maths, which is the only AS I did 3 exams, and you could see at the result for each one where I was mentally with my health. Because when I did my core 1, I had no idea what was wrong with me and I got an A. When I did my core 2, I was being tested for something and I knew it was going to be serious and I got a C. And for my decision, by this point I'd been diagnosed, I got an E. Wow. And you could just see the progression of where I was. When it came to my A-level results, when I got that C, I was really happy because one of the exams I did, I got a U. But if I hadn't have gotten that U, I wouldn't have gotten that C. And I got that U because the day before that exam, I was told my cancer had relapsed.
Oh my
So
God,
my mum kicked me out of bed, kicked me out of the house, took me to my exam. I sat in
They
it.
love to hit you in exam season, don't they? It's evil.
Yeah. But my mum always reminds me that that's her proudest moment for me.
Whoa, mate, you're amazing. That's so cool.
What about you? How did you feel on your results?
Just terrified, which I look back and I wish I wasn't so terrified. It's all relative. Like, my idea of success was so warped because of everything I'd kind of like been taught at school, like, oh, you need to get this for it to be good. In reality, I wish I could like go back and just tell myself that it really doesn't matter as much as I thought it did.
So who helped you when you wanted to figure out about your gap year and stuff?
Yeah, that was actually quite a hard one for me because I was always super academic at school. And so when I kind of realised that I'd quite like a year off to just, I don't know, figure other things out, I was terrified to ask advice from anyone. It was actually my dad who was super helpful. And I remember he like sat me down for a chat. He was like, oh, what do you think's best for you? Like, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter about like online, like what you guys think, hey. He just sort of was like, okay, is this what your gut feeling is saying?
What did you learn on your gap year?
So many things. Coming out of the education system was like a breath of fresh air. I feel like I've learned so many things about myself. I just think it's made me like see life in a lot more perspective, and that I don't need to rush to do things because everyone's like on their own timeline. Yeah, loads of deep things I've learned on my gap year. I have never regretted my gap year once.
What was your most memorable moment or stood out the most?
This is so hard because I feel like there have been so many like elements to my year. Like, a year is a very long time. But I think a standout moment for me was on the first train where I was going travelling, like interrailing for the first time. I was on my own. I'm not a super practical person, so I was absolutely terrified. And there was just this realisation when the train like left and I was hurtling away to Paris, that like I was doing it, like I was on my own, I was like conquering this fear and kind of like getting out of my comfort zone. That's quite like a standout thing for me because it was the start of everything that's like come to follow. Yeah.
That's the same feeling you'll get when you go to uni.
What was your first year at university like, and do you have any advice for people who might be starting this September like me?
Be aware that people will use your stuff in the kitchen.
What advice do you have with like coping with the new environment, having to make friends, like homesickness, that kind of thing?
It's not a bad thing to miss your friends or family. They're just going to give you the support you need, and meet people, be yourself, and whoever you meet, if they don't appreciate it, it's fine. You're not going to see them again.
Others, yeah. What is your advice for facing up to things that might seem a bit scary?
Personally, just gritting your teeth and bearing it. I was scared when I went off to uni because it was a whole new life and I still had my cancer looming over me. But I just knew this is what I wanted. So I knew if I could, you know, if I could beat cancer, I could do anything.
Oh, I love that, yes. I think similar, it's just like acknowledging that when things are scary, it's like, it's an opportunity to grow. It means that it's maybe a tiny bit out of what you're used to, but in embracing that and just kind of going for it and just doing your best and acknowledging that it's okay if you're scared, you're just going to grow. And that's
yeah, another thing that always stuck by me is a saying my grandma used to say, and it's better to be a disappointed optimist than a satisfied pessimist.
Love that. So thank you guys so much for coming and watching a bit of Becky's story. I hope you've learned something or it's been insightful in some way. If you would like to learn more about, I don't know, things having not gone to plan on results day and what you can then do about it, for example, clearing, then there's going to be a link in my description where you can read other stories like Becky's and just get really useful advice from the Teenage Cancer Trust. I really hope that you do approach whatever results you get with an optimistic mindset. It's all just part of the grand scheme of your life, and I think you've got to embrace it.
And thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. Yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, so this is a momentous moment. This is Becky's first ever prep. And it smells good. Hey!